At 3:12 a.m., Lucia stares at her phone and sees her own apartment from behind, as if someone were standing at the nape of her neck live streaming. There is one viewer. A comment pops up and keeps reappearing no matter how many times she deletes it. Did you see it? She turns slowly toward the hallway. The image freezes on her face mid-turn. Hours earlier, her normal looks like a list of calming things. A mug ringed with coffee, headphones, the kettle that promises hot water and finished work, the tape over her laptop camera left from an ex's joke. On the monitor, a sticky note with 2 rules scrawled in marker. 1. Do not answer messages after 11. 2. Do not read comments when hungry or afraid. She lives alone, edits copy, and schedules overnight posts for clients who think insomnia is a brand strategy. On the desk rests her old basic phone, the one she uses only for banking. She turns in a content calendar and, as a small reward, opens her personal account for a minute to check memes and the weather. The feed knows her pulse. She scrolls, even with the feeling of being watched. A digital chime rings, 3 quick notes with no app icon on screen. A message with no sender appears. Did you see it? Lucia ignores it. She labels it spam in her mind and sets the phone face down. The chime rings again, 3 sharp taps. Did you see it? She says. Out loud, she will not open anything and turns on Do Not Disturb. On the laptop, the algorithm recommends a live from an account with 0 followers. She clicks and sees herself, or what she believes is her living room, minutes earlier from a low angle. She tries to pause, but the player doesn't obey. The image suddenly types auto captions over the frame. Do not open after 3. She slams the tab shut, heart in her throat. The kettle whistles in the kitchen. She promises herself she will not look again. A small, undeniable test follows her. With the microphone off, the laptop transcribes what she whispers. I'm not opening anything. A gray caption answers over the frozen video. Good. Do not open the 4th. The words taste metallic. She writes a new sticky note and presses it to the monitor's frame. 3 knocks means do not open. She repeats it like a prayer. The phone buzzes on the table, another 3-note chime. She powers it off. In the monitor's glass, something moves behind her chair. When she turns, only the kitchen is there. Spotless, a mug she doesn't remember washing gleaming on the counter. She logs out of everything. New passwords, 2-factor, apps deleted. She peels the tape from the camera to wipe the bezel and finds, stuck along the top edge, a long dark hair that is not hers. It goes in the trash with fingers that don't quite obey. She opens a chat with her sister Valeria. I'm not answering tonight. If you need me, ring the bell. Before she can send it, the line auto-completes a sentence she didn't type. Did you see it? She deletes it, turns off Wi-Fi, unplugs the router. Even so, a faint glow paints 3:12 in one corner of the screen, a time that isn't what the clock shows. The easy exit isn't enough. And now Valeria is on the edge of whatever this is. She calls Valeria on the basic phone, the one that feels like another decade. She gets as far as, if someone messages you, do not open anything when it pings 3 times. When her sister cuts in, you called me a little while ago and didn't say anything. I only heard 3 chimes. And you're breathing. Lucia hadn't called her. Whatever brushes her isn't in the apartment. It follows her, her voice, her contacts, her impulse to look. Valeria promises to stop by in the morning. Lucia writes another sticky note and this time presses it by the door. If you get 3 chimes, hang up. The next day, a client writes from a different address. They are canceling the contract. We were tagged in your live last night, the email says. A clip is attached. alive from Lucia's account in which a dark hallway walks toward her door. The sticky note is visible on the frame. 3 knocks means do not open. Lucia never streamed. She loses the contract, and with it, something she thought was untouchable, the simple privacy of her living room. She decides to go out. In the elevator, a little girl practices 3 repeating notes on a plastic recorder. The mother apologizes. Lucia smiles with clenched teeth. In the lobby, her bag buzzes 3 times even though the phone is off. She whispers to herself, "Do not open." Not at the 4th. In the parking garage, a digital billboard flickers and for a full second shows 312 before returning to its usual ad. Everything seems to nudge her toward a threshold she doesn't understand. She returns at dusk. The laptop goes in the closet, the basic phone in the microwave just to feel like she did something. She sits on the floor, back to the wall, and listens to a different kind of silence. No fridge hum, no pipe breath. She reviews her rules. The only ones that matter are the ones she can hold with presence, not flight. Do not open after 3, even if curiosity bites. If it pings, she will count. Out loud, like a child refusing to look under the bed. Kitchen to her left, hallway to the bedroom on the right. Straight ahead, the door with the peephole. The place is dark except for one tiny light on the router she could swear she unplugged, and the oven glass, returning her silhouette like a dead screen. She leaves her main phone on the table, camera covered, with an alarm set for 3:11 that will chime once, her way to mark time with something she controls. She will not open anything after 3. She will not turn when the reflection asks her to. The hours fold until the mark she dreads. At 3:10, the apartment seems to draw a breath. 1, she says, counting aloud. The phone buzzes 3 times as if a bell had learned her name. She does not touch it. 2, the peephole exhales a cool fog inward, as if someone were breathing from the other side. The oven, without turning on, writes 312 in the haze across its glass. 3. The phone vibrates again. 6 chimes total. She does not open. A chill climbs her neck. The alarm sounds. 1 clean chime. She does not open. The phone buzzes a 3rd time. 9 in all, the tally of everything trying to pry her hands. On the locked screen, a notification slides from side to side, from inside the image rather than any app. Do not open after 3. I know, Lucia says, tears making no sound. I know. The 4th arrives crooked. It isn't the phone that vibrates. It is the apartment. 3 notes come from the hallway, as if someone pressed a hidden doorbell with the pad of a finger 3 times from inside the wall. The peephole turns by itself, unlatching. Lucia keeps her gaze down. The microwave, without power, shows a blurred face for a second. The closet door seems to breathe. In the oven's reflection, the words, "live," and a single viewer appear. She breaks her own rule, with a precision that feels like defense. She opens the microwave, grabs the basic phone, and calls her own number to tie up the line with noise she knows. While it rings, she repeats the sticky note phrase like a rope between her hands. 3 knocks, I do not open. 4, neither. Then she feels a small tap by her foot. A phone that is not hers gives off 3 chimes. It is black, unbranded. Its screen blinks 312. It slides an inch toward her, as if tugged on an invisible string. Lucia closes her eyes, reaches out, and covers it with the empty desk mug, the same one from every night. The ceramic trembles like it is breathing, but it holds. The peephole stops. The oven's reflection loses interest. The live cuts off. The viewer count drops from 1 to 0. The 4th never comes. On her phone, "Did you see it?" doesn't return. Lucia opens her eyes and looks at the hallway door. Nothing. She lifts the mug carefully. There is no phone underneath, only a dark spiral of hair stuck to the floor and the damp circular ring of the ceramic base. She breathes deeper than she has all night. She has lost a client and the clear name of her calm, but she has gained a rule she no longer needs to write down. Do not open what calls 3 times, even when it calls without a device. She stays on the floor until morning. A message from Valeria arrives. I'm downstairs. Should I come up? She replies, yes. Bring bread. Valeria arrives with a bag of sweetbread and a cardboard coaster from the corner cafe. Lucia sets her mug on it and, without meaning to, covers the spiral of hair on the floor. On the back of the coaster, seen against the light, a line in almost erased ink reads, do not open after 3. 3 raised dots underline it, as if someone pressed their nails into the paper. Someone knocks. Lucia and Valeria look at each other. The first time it's the woman from 5, the usual neighbor, her smile a little more fixed than normal. Sorry, do you have any sugar? Lucia hands her a jar. The woman takes it with cold fingers, too cold, and lingers 1 second longer in the doorway, as if listening to something behind Lucia. Then she leaves without saying goodbye. Another knock. This time it's a boy they haven't seen in the building, hair pasted to his forehead, clothes damp. Have you seen my parents? I'm lost, he says. His voice sounds right, but his eyes never quite settle on Lucia's. They bounce as if looking just beside her face. Valeria steps back without knowing why. Lucia asks which apartment he came from. He murmurs a number that doesn't exist on that floor. They tell him to wait at the front desk and that they'll alert security. The boy nods without moving the rest of his face and tiptoes away. A third knock comes immediately, not giving the heart time to return to its place. In the doorway stand the woman from 5 and the same boy, shoulder to shoulder, perfectly still, holding the sugar jar between their hands as if they were sharing it. Now they do lock eyes. The eyes look correct and empty at the same time. The shine is there but belongs to no one, like still water without a bottom. They smile together, but their lips don't follow. It is a smile drawn by someone who learned it by imitation. It was the 3rd knock, they say in unison, their calm raising goosebumps, and you still opened. Lucia tries to explain these were different people, that it didn't count. No sound comes. Valeria breathes in to ask something and lets it out without words. The neighbor and the boy tilt their heads to the same angle, as if they'd been given an instruction. Then, with old-fashioned politeness, they pull the door shut themselves. The latch clicks softly. Their steps, on the other side, move away down the hall without hurry. The 2 of them stand motionless, the mug resting on the coaster, the spiral of hair hidden underneath. Nothing else happens. But in the silence that follows, Lucia feels the apartment listening. And although nobody says it aloud, both understand there is something worse than a bang or a scream. The certainty that you obeyed and someone took note. Outside, the elevator opens and closes. Inside, morning seems to arrive a little later than it should. And somewhere they cannot see, the time is written as always, waiting for someone to look. 3:12.